All right, welcome back. Now, we're discussing party politics, like I said earlier, and, talking about what's been happening. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has actually warned members of the Board of Trustees of the opposition People's Democratic Party that the party might not survive another 8 years as an opposition party. Now, Atiku, who spoke when he hosted the BOT members during a consultative meeting in Abuja early in the week before picking his form, asked the elders of the party to work with him to clinch the presidency in 2023, or, like he said in quotes, we all retire together, because according to news making rounds, he said that they cannot survive another term as an opposition party. Once they lose this particular elections, then there's no going back for them. So right here in the studio we have the People's Democratic Party Publicity Secretary in Ogun State, Asiwaju Bankole Akinloye, and he joins us in the studio. Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Extra.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning. Good to see you.
Yes, good to see you
Thanks
too.
for having me today.
All right. So what do you make of the statement coming from Atiku?
Yeah, I think His Excellency, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has once again expressed the very important need for us as a party to get back to government. Because if we don't, for whatever reason this time around, if we don't, like he said, a lot of people of his generation will be forced to retirement. And maybe that would also give people of our own generation too an opportunity.
Yeah, because that was the question I was about to
people of our own generation too come in to rise up again. But it's important to say that for PDP, this coming election is very, very important. Why? We all know where Nigeria was as at the time we left government in 2015. And we know where we are today as a country. Nigeria has never been this divided. As at 2015, for example, I live in Idiroko, a border community that borders Nigeria and Benin Republic. Idiroko is Ogun State. Yeah. As at 2015, if you go to the market to buy a bag of rice, for example, rice is the most stable food that we consume every household on daily basis in Nigeria. If you take 8,000 naira to the market to buy a bag of rice, 50 kg, I am very sure you'll be given a certain amount as change, maybe some 200 naira, 300 naira, thereabout. Today, as we speak, a bag of rice from Idiroko is sold for 35,000 naira. Wow. That is to show Nigerians how terrible the economy has become under the watch of the ruling APC. But it's really sad. Apart from the prices of food commodities that has skyrocketed, the international perception of Nigeria as a member of international community was intact. Nigeria was a well-respected voice in international system as of 2015. The international perception of the country today has dropped significantly, and it's really sad. Look at the state of security. Look at our public infrastructures, and to now crown it up, the details of Nigerian debts, both foreign and domestic. A few days ago, the office of a DMO, Debt Management Office, released that very scary, very bogus figures as what Nigeria is currently owing. Yet we are still seeking more. We are still seeking to access more loan. It's very dangerous. So for us, 2023 is important. Nigeria has to be liberated. We have to take it back by all means possible within the confines of the law. And that is why we have come out to educate, sensitize, and mobilize ourselves.
So there's this argument.
Yes, sir.
There's this argument that a party doesn't run a government. I mean, like when you say, okay, PDP, PDP is not a person. People actually do that.
Yes.
And there's this argument that actually people say that a lot of people that are members of the APC today, that are ruling, were members of the PDP before. Back in that time that you said we could buy a bag of rice for less than 8,000 naira. They are the ones that were there. They cross-carpeted to the APC and they're running it now, and this is what is happening. So how sure are we?
The difference is simple. There is a party program. And don't forget, it is the party that will sponsor an individual for a particular office for an election. It is the party that will sponsor a candidate. It's the party that submits the name of his candidate to INEC. So you cannot. There is always a very great input from the party as to what happens in government.
Does it override the wishes or the principles of the individual himself?
It may not override, but where you practice proper party politics, the government must also be in constant touch, in constant engagement with the party, where they cross-check notes and cross-fertilize ideas as to what will happen in governance. Because at the end of the day, if the government fails, it bounces back to the political party.
Okay, now, is it actually any different? Because even when the PDP were in power, a lot of Nigerians complained a lot, even though it wasn't, as bad as it is now, but there were lots of complaints that, you guys, were not doing the right thing.
Of course, we were not perfect.
Right as well.
But as at the time we left the government in 2015, at the national level, we were not perfect. I must say that, because we are all human beings. We all have our shortcomings here and there as human beings, as normal human beings. But the fact is that the realities then, compared to what we have now, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. As at 2015, when Nigeria was leaving government under ex-President Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria was rated at the time as the fastest growing economy in the world.
Okay.
Look at what we have done. Nigeria has become the global capital of poverty, and that clears it all.
Okay.
That says it all.
Now, you talked about the party being responsible to actually bring out the candidates and everything.
Yeah.
Now, is the party in support of Atiku's presidency?
His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, foremost, is a member of the party. Is a Nigerian that is eligible to contest.
But there's
Just like several others of them. I said Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not the only person in the race for 2023.
Yeah.
As I'm seated here, I can remember very vividly, like 5 or 6.
Okay, but are they
That
in support
would be the party in support of
Atiku, vying for presidency? Because, there's been a lot of controversy about, him buying a
the
form.
party. Yes, he can pick a form. He just picked the form. I am sure by Monday, many other people too will still pick
But
forms.
a lot of people are saying that he actually jumped the gun, because there's supposed to be a meeting, a NEC meeting, I think, they're supposed to come up with the zoning formula and whatnot. So a lot of people are saying that he jumped the gun.
As at the last convention of the party in December last year, the party came out straight. We were zoning the national chairmanship to the North Central, where we elected national chairman, Dr. Yosha Ayu from Benue State. And the party said it clearly. For presidency, it's an open race. Whoever wants to come, if you like, come from Lagos, come from Abia State, come from any part of the country. And that is why we have today people like the former Senate President, Yosha Ayim Pius Ayim, is also vying to be president.
Okay, but what does that
We
say?
have, in fact, we have two. Yes, we have two from the southwest
Okay.
that have
So-
been going out to that they've been making consultations. We have Dr. Odun Yokukwe, the former spokesperson to the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, is in the race from Ogun State. We have the veteran journalist Dele Momodu from Osun State. He's been consulting. So the party is not narrowing the presidential ticket down to anybody or any section of the country.
So they're not following
is
the
opened.
zoning formula.
It is opened. We are not, the party is not officially announcing any zoning for this.
So
2023.
anyone can-
anybody
anybody from
is
any
free.
part of the
Anybody is
country.
free. What is important, the party would ensure is that this person has what it takes. He has the capacity. He has the competence, the character of being a president that can rescue Nigeria from what we have today.
So let's go back to what we opened with, the particular statement that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar actually made about PDP. This is the last chance for PDP to actually take it, or for some members of the PDP to actually take it. And I actually asked this question: is it really a bad thing if most of the old guard actually go home and relax?
Yes, on the surface, or let me say, on the basis of morality, we can kind of want to suggest that the old guys, like you described them, should take a step backward and, give people, perhaps of my generation, the opportunity
Of our generation.
Yes, of our generation.
Yeah,
Thank you. Of our generation to take the lead.
Yes.
In presiding over the affairs of the country. Yeah, it's not totally bad.
Yes.
But one thing that is important is that if you look at the constitution of Nigeria, except if you are bad, perhaps for criminal offenses, or you have maybe you are ineligible, then the party can stop it. We cannot stop anybody from, even if you are 100 years old, if you are still living and you are still a member of the party, we cannot stop you from, exercising your right of...
So generally now,
yeah,
we're still talking about this. We're still talking about having generational change in the political sphere and whatnot. Generally now, let me ask you: is it a bad thing now if a party says, okay, part of our philosophy is we're going to have a program, or should I say a policy that will make it, when you reach a certain level or you reach a certain age.
Age.
Yes,
all right.
when you reach a certain age, you become sort of like a mentor so that you can bring other people up. You take a back seat.
You see,
understand? Is it such a bad thing if political parties actually have these kind of policies?
You see, in a democracy is a system of government that also grows with time, just like a plant. When you plant a tree, it needs water, it needs oxygen, it needs to grow. I want to tell you too that democracy is just like that too. And good enough, our party, the People's Democratic Party, especially under the leadership of our chairman, Dr. Iyorchia Ayu, has done so well. We have started so well. One, by defining what we mean by youth. If you look at it today, you know, you have seen our national youth leader. Our national youth leader, I'm sure it's not up to 30 years. Are you getting it? We have, as a party, we have clearly defined who a youth is. And we have benchmarked that as, okay, as a party, our national youth leader, either at national level or state level, cannot go beyond this particular age. Democracy is evolving. What I would just say is that people of our generation, like you said, we should get involved. We should get more involved in politics. I won't sit down here and say we must join PDP. No, that won't be fair. Let us join a political party and get involved in the system. If you are outside the system, I tell you, you cannot do much significantly to change anything.
But a lot of people actually believe, since that old guard is still there, even if I join the political party now, what kind of voice will I have?
The old guys will always be there, perhaps to give guidance, perhaps to give direction.
But is that
and
what we need
advice.
as youths? Or what about a third force?
A third force is not impossible. I will tell you quite a number of times in different places, I mean, in different states, they have tried it. In my own Ogun State, as at 2019, the last general election, there was a third force, Allied People's APM, Allied People's Movement. Are you getting it? There was an APM. In fact, APM came second.
Wow.
APC won the governorship. APM came second. And for internal wranglings in the party, then PDP came distant third.
So talking
Are you
about the
getting it?
internal wranglings, right? What makes you guys different from the APC? Because there's so much controversy.
I love this question. I love this question. You see, in party politics, there are rooms for disagreements. There could be disagreements. There could be maybe crisis. But what is important is how do we resolve? If you look at it, since Fourth Republic, 1999, at the birth of this, when President Obasanjo was coming on board, we had three major parties: People's Democratic Party, the AD, and the defunct APP.
APP.
Three. Since then, 1999, up to now, it is only PDP that has retained its full identity in terms of names, color, logo, flag, and symbol.
But not the people.
Not
The people that are inside the PDP.
because
a lot of
party as an,
actually
what I'm
happened.
saying is that
Yeah.
the party as a political organization has consistently retained its identity. And it does not mean we don't have disagreements. It does not mean we don't have internal wranglings. But PDP is a democratic, well-structured political organization. Look at the role that our Board of Trustees play. Even at the last National Convention, they know the appropriate time to call everybody to simmer down and sort things out. Unlike what we have in other political
So
parties.
generally speaking now, to add to just what she said, looking at the political terrain in Nigeria as it is right now, do you think, generally now, I'm talking to you as a Nigerian.
As a Nigerian.
Yes,
now,
as a
okay.
Nigerian,
Okay.
not as a PDP
As a PDP
spokesperson.
citizen.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Thank you.
As a Nigerian now, do you think a third force is what we need? Do you think that can make a difference?
As a Nigerian,
As a Nigerian.
I cannot rule it out.
Yeah.
It's not impossible because if you check contemporary history, it happened somewhere it happened in Ondo State with a Labour Party when His Excellency, the former governor, Olusegun Mimiko, emerged as governor under Labour Party. Labour Party, either you like it or not, is not a major political party in Nigeria. I get in it. So on the basis of that historical fact, I cannot rule it out that a third force is not impossible. No. But I want to also say this. If you look at even the older democracies, talk of United States of America, talk of Britain, and many other countries. They are all, just like Nigeria, multi-democracies, multi-party democracies. Are you getting it? But at the end of the day, you still see two dominant parties running the affairs of the country. So, for me, what happened in Ondo when Olusegun Mimiko became the governor under Labour Party was what I would call a fluke. Because it was unexpected.
Well, you have parties like APGA, which are doing very well, most especially in the southeast.
In the east, in
Yes.
Anambra State particularly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hope they can go a step forward outside Anambra State in the coming periods. Let's see that. But majorly what I'm trying to say as a Nigerian, just like
As a Nigerian, yes, as a Nigerian.
just like we have insisted, is like there would always be a dominance of two major parties in any multi-party democracies.
Okay, so before we wrap up, let's talk about your own your party in your state. Are you ready to take over?
Yes, PDP in Ogun State, I will tell you we are ready. I will tell you confidently that we are ready. In fact, between now and the next 2-3 weeks, a lot of pleasant surprises will be happening in our party. We hope to have a bountiful harvest of eminent people, those that have been in the party perhaps earlier, that they left for whatever reason, they are returning back. Many of them are returning back. Between now and the next 2-3 weeks, we'll see it by God's grace. We are doing everything possible. We had issues, like I told you earlier. We had internal wranglings. But as at March last year, through the intervention and the efforts of the National Working Committee, as they raised a reconciliation committee that was headed by His Excellency, the former Senate President, Dr. Olusola Saraki. He did very well for us in the party in Ogun State. He was able, at least, to, let me say, 70-75% to bring back, warring groups together. And that is why, that is what we have today in PDP, especially under the leadership of the state chairman, Alhaji Dr. Sikiru Ogundele. The party is working in one harmony under his chairmanship, and we are reaching out to as many people, even those that joined the party, that left the party maybe as early as 2003. So we are trying to make sure we bring everybody back to be, because either we like it or not, Nigerians and members of the public in Ogun State, they have tasted two husbands' house, so they know which one is better. So,
all right. So
people in Ogun State cannot wait to have PDP back in government, and we are doing everything possible, I assure you, to get back to government.
So, final note now to wrap this all up. I am trying to stay away from party politics. Right. So, as a Nigerian.
As a Nigerian again.
As a Nigerian.
I love that. It's good.
Yeah.
Nigeria is more important.
Yes, exactly.
To us.
Yes. So, as a Nigerian, young Nigerian politician, what advice would you give us? People like you and me.
People of our generation.
Exactly, people of our generation. Most especially those of us that are not really involved in active politics.
You see,
and we want to see things change.
You see, politics shapes a lot of things that we do. It shapes what we eat, whatever decision we make. In that wise, given our level of exposure in terms of education, in terms of other things, it is very, very imperative for all of us to get involved in politics. We must get involved in politics. Otherwise, people of less character that are not even up to us in anything, if you leave, Yorùbá will say, "Toba fashion left from were, Uma fire." If you leave your beautiful attire in the hands of a madman, he will tear it. So we must not leave our faith as people of the same generation to those that they don't have the same level of competence, the same level of IQ, character, and capacity that we have.
All right, so in as much as we want to encourage youth to actually join politics, we should encourage them to join it in the right way, because a lot of youth right now are involved in the politics, but in the wrong way. Most of us are actually used for thuggery and the rest of it. You understand? So I think it's very good for us to actually qualify that so that we can.
That's important too.
Yes. All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak Extra today. That was PDP Publicity Secretary in Ogun State, Asiwaju Bankole Akinloye, right here.
I must confess, before we actually started this discussion, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did.
It was quite interesting.
Yeah.
All right, hope to have you here, some other time.
Thank you so much. Anytime I'm in Abuja, I'll reach out so we can have.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you. All right, with that, we'll take a quick breather, and when we come back, it'll be time for, something lighter.
Yeah, something lighter.
All right, do stay tuned.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.